Okay, let's take class about the NLP values, and I wanna explain since the definitions, utilities, and how the values are were built, and how to identify your own values, and how they change during the life. Your values can change in circumstances, social um, environments, and they can alternate its system. And according to your goals, you can to change your values by yourself. It's more or less like that. Okay, we'll start. What is really a values? A value is a thing, is a feeling which you can which compel you to action. Um, when for example, are sitting in your sofa, and you has your TV to watch, and you can to wipe your house and clean it. Um, if you are about have pleasure or comfort is higher than the the cleaning value, the good environment, and that feeling behind the cleaning something. If that pleasure about watch TV and the comfort about sitting on sofa is higher than a value from clean something, you probably decide the most time stay sitting in the sofa and watch TV. It's a example who shows what happened with the values. Values are a way that your brain unconscious choose a thing, making a decision. It's and that all that decision are did by feelings, and that feelings a structure that an NLP discover about that is the values. The values shape your decisions and shape your actions. And when you understand your own values, you can choose and choose that values according to your goals. Um, a value is a thing that's important to you. For example, when you say, for me, the most thing in the world is the best thing in the world is to travel. And you you can think about it, what that word travel is cool, is cool for you. How, what do you feel about that? Maybe you can have a freedom because your travels, and you can have another good feeling, and that value is organizing inside of you way that it's on top, and all your life are shaping around you feel more that feeling. As I said in that example, we have a mean value that is travel, and we have a end value can be freedom, can be know different things. And another end value about travel could be variety, and you can see you can eat many kind of food, you can see many kind of different things, uh, things like that. That same example, you can see that that person is compelling to act that way. Is compelling to always travel, eat more and more and more. It's a toward values. That value, travel, is a thing that's compelling a person. Another example of the opposite is a away from. For example, the first uh, the first thing I said was about sitting on sofa. I imagine that your mom is saying to you, "Oh, you need to clean the house," and he scream about it. And you hate that thing. People screaming with you and they annoy you, and that could be a away from value. You hate everything annoying you, and that feeling is so bad you act for don't feel that anymore. And it's a other way that values can motivate you. Otherwise, a person who don't worry about that, about being annoyed, and they like so much more stay sitting also find that comfort and watch TV. That person could stay sitting on sofa and then don't worry about that. Okay, we can talk about utilities. Um, as your values shape your behavior, you need to organize your values to behave a way to achieve your goals. Um, I think that happens so much is when a person wanna be rich, wanna earn so much money, and that person don't like to work hard. That person don't like to create build value, create value to the other persons. That person don't don't like so much to work. It's a kind of value. And as you trace a goal, you can do it, and it's very recommended to align your values to your goal. If you wanna earn money, you can climb your value about create value, about work, and about work hard to the top of your value hierarchy. Another thing you can do is when you know your values, you can do better decisions. Uh, one example that Anthony Robbins say in his book is um, his daughter. His daughter gets a job on Disney, and it was very cool because he she liked the work that and after work on that work every day, she needed dance every day and make a presentation, etc. It was cool because she she could feel good about uh, the acknowledge of the other persons. But after some time, his daughter feels so bad because in she hierarchy of values, she family was climbing that on top, and in the that work couldn't couldn't satisfy that necessity, that value, because she needed to work so much and stay each more less time with her family, and it during the time after some months she couldn't feel good about that. If really she knew her values, she couldn't she couldn't she could prevent that decision and think, oh, family is a high value to me. I need to expand a good amount of time with my family. If I don't do that, I will feel so unhappy. And it's a way, it's a utility that your value, about your values. Um, Another interesting thing about values is how they are built. Your values contrary to beliefs that are built about what you hear about your fathers and your early age tell to you. The values is absorbed when about things you pay attention, the behaviors of the persons you pay attention. For example, if your father say, um, Sam, you need to tell the truth. Always you need to tell the truth. But that same father call to the work to say, oh, I won't. I I I I'm sick. I want to work. I will stay in house today. And you, as a kid, you see your father doing it, and your father aren't sick. You uh, absorb the value that say the truth, integrity isn't so important, and you that saying of your father don't have effect. You will probably have the belief that say the truth is cool. You probably will say it for your child, child, but you won't do that. Your value, your real value, will won't be that. And we have a early stories about values, and one of the researchers was Morris Massey, and Morris Massey discovered some periods, and the first period is the imprint. It's a from 0 to 7 years, and it's a period when you absorb everything your fathers do, or I think a person that is near you. For example, if you have a uncle who live with you, you can absorb his values. Wherever person that a kid like and stay in his day to day, uh, that kid could absorb his value. And the absorb beliefs too. Beliefs come from speech, and the values come from behavior. After a kid absorb values until 7 years, and they very associated to the fathers, the parents, um, there happen the modeling period. That modeling period is from 7 to 13 years. That period, a kid are a little dissociated to his parents, and it can choose another persons. For example, if you have a good teacher in school, and you like the way he talks, and you like the things he talks, the way he behaves, you can absorb his values. If you have a friend in that age, you could probably will absorb his values. And you are as a fruit of your environment. And of course, your values today are most absorbed 7 to 0, but you absorb values in 7 to 32. After that period has the socialization period, 14 to 21 years, where you absorb the values to about socialization and how the things work, how the relationships work, uh, how you are in relationships. It can be a romantic relationship, your self-image about romantic relationship, your friendship, how is you in that kind of relationship or social relationship too. You in that period you are completely dissociated from your parents, and it's important to say because it's a almost a end of your values, and we'll see more later about how your values can change in the time, but your starting the life about values are formed to 21, normally 21 years old. So as I said, it's important you know you know your values, and I think the first thing you need to do is how to identify your values. The first method you can do that is conscious research. You can ask to yourself how uh, what kind of thing is important to you, what kind of thing is really important to you. uh, for example, I can say that learning is very important to me, and I can write it on paper and make a list about that. I can think about things, uh, things and situations when our my was uh, violated, and I can think, oh, I hated when that teacher talk bad to me in public. What value can be it behind that situation? Oh, if that value could be a respect, that value could be a uh, acceptance. Uh, it's an example. You can think about situation where a value uh, you really like the situation that value was met. For example, in a friendship, you can remember a situation when you really like the person liked what you said. Oh, you say thing and that person really liked what you said. What value behind that? You can think that value could be acknowledging that person acknowledge you and you really liked that, and it can be in your higher hierarchy of values. As you think about that situations and what is really important to you, you can write a list for after you order that. Another thing that you can identify about your values are what you do. What you do? How do you spend your time? Example: if you watch TV 3 hours per day, it has a value being met behind this action. Maybe, as I said, pleasure is behind that action, or comfort behind that, or in a specific situation, it can be another value. For example, a value away from where you can do a thing. For example, you have a very difficult thing for you do, and you wait and wait it more and sit on sofa watching TV. because you can't do that, and it's away from situation, away from value that you is leading you to take that action and watch so much TV. Another way to identify your values is how do you spend your money. How do you spend your money? The card invoice shows your values. If you see that your invoice card has 30% of new clothes, you can see that maybe has something behind that value, that's the action you're doing. Maybe acceptance is important to you, or be elegant is important to you. You can identify that. How do you spend your money is a kind of value. And normally, if I ask to you, what is your values, you can say your wanted values. The values are these are values that you value, but you don't really do. And maybe these things are things that you hear, that's important, but you don't model over persons or your parents or socialization or those periods we talked before. Um, with these three methods on top, conscious search, what do you do and how to spend your money, you can find your actual and deep values. These are values which really motivate you to take action. And as we said in the definition of values, if you need to choose about two things, you will always or most time choose the things that supply your higher value. Okay, as I said, your values can suffer natural change, and that change could be for three ways: circumstance, social, and you can alternate your value system. The first way is circumstances. Yeah, your value could change according to the circumstances. You probably know the pyramid in Maslow. Uh, you have steps of that pyramid. The first is on base is survival, and after safety, and after self-respect, and after realization. When you and each step is from each role of your life. For example, you have a role about your family. You have a role about your work. You have a role about being a student. For example, about being a student, you can be in survival because your grades are worse and worse, and in that role, your values can change. You can, for example, value more, pay attention to things. Could value more. Don't talk to the others. And in another situation, another role as family, you can be in self-realization because your family is very cool. You have a good environment, and your values could act differently. For example, that same value I said before, the value about talk to other people, talk and have a good relationship, could be very improved in that area, that family. That's your role. And at your work, your values could be different. Uh, you can be in safety, and in middle of your hierarchy of values can be socialization, and all your hierarchy of values can be different in different roles, depending of your step of Maslow's pyramid that role there are. An interesting thing is about social changes. That social changes occurring in the override your personal values. Uh, one example is when a good person who really like the others and couldn't do anything to the other persons. And, and when that person is a team persons uh, and talking to the others and what a match, that same person, if there are a fight, that person could kill another person because uh, he's he can see another friend acting that way and absorb that value and act to kill another. It's a happened many times, and it's a example when I can show that a good guy, that gentleman, had his had override his personal values to the group values. Another way that natural change is when you alternate your value system. We can have two kinds of value system. It can be self-sacrifice. It's when you can don't do a thing thinking about the other persons. We can think about uh, a father or a mom or a good friend that only think about the others and sometimes don't do their own things to uh, think about others. And the opposite is self-expression, when that system value is when you think about the things you wanna do and satisfy your own needs is more important than think about the other persons. And some persons stay on one of two systems, but sometimes, and it happens so much, I can say that the most people alternate between these two kind of value system. When you are in highest self-sacrifice, you can see that it's so bad, and each each little thing and little increase, you think, oh, it's not so cool, and you think, I will less that value system. Of course, it's unconscious, but you with more less that value system, and it will turn it more self-expression. It's like a wave. You stay one time, you stay too much, so much in self-sacrifice, and it will down. It's more, and come to self-sacrifice in this high, and you see that self-sacrifice don't work so much. You are so selfish, and the people around you don't really like you, and you lost many relationships because of that, and you can learn with that value system, and it climb to self-sacrifice again, and each time, little bit each day, you will climb to self-sacrifice. And when you go to self-sacrifice, that self-sacrifice are so much better than the last period of self-sacrifice, because you already learned so much more about that. It's very interesting. Uh, the, those are the ways you can have natural change in your value system, by circumstance, by social groups, and by alternate value systems. As I said in the beginning, you can. It's very important to change your values to align it with your goals. Uh, and how do you do that? Your values has a internal structure which can be cloned to the other values. That structure is not more, not less than submodality. How you see, what you see when you think about a thing that's important to you. What image is behind is show up in your mind. What sound is that? Or what you feel? What part of a feeling? Of course, it has many specific choices in each thing, in of that representational systems. Uh, how do you climb your value? You have a value that isn't your top 10 hierarchy, and you wanna put it there because it's important. Because, for example, you wanna create value, and it isn't in your value hierarchy of values, and you wanna put it on top. You can get the same characteristics of the top one value, and that submodality you will put in the create value that is that on a specific value, and that create value, which means when you do something to others, when you help others, when you learn, you teach something to others, it means create value. You can change that submodality from your top value to that specific value, and that specific value will climb to the second. Uh, it will the first below the first value. If you clone the top one value, it will the second value. The name of that technique in NLP is mapping across. It's very cool to do, and normally it will take a week doing that exercise each day. It normally take maximum 20 minutes per day to do that, and it's very recommended when you want to align your values to your goals. Has over situations when you can remove a value from your top hierarchy, and that change isn't cool, because a problem normally when in tests, when the NLP researches and the tests, etc. When you do that thing, you get a top value you don't like, and it's annoying you at some way. It will come back. It will come back, and you can change. We can expand a week to change it. You can expand 3 weeks and change this submodality, and that structure will change for some time, and after it will back to the first structure. Okay, what I recommend is only you climb values. If you wanna reorganize your values, you get a values in the bottom and climb it to top for stay top of that value you don't like. It's better than down a value, and that's it. It's how the values work. What is that? What was these utilities? How they are built, in your age period, how to identify that, how they had these natural changes, and how change by yourself according to your purposes. And that's it.